Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new Let's Play from me. Of course, it is Lake Season's greetings. Is it too early to say happy holidays? Maybe a little bit. But hopefully this starts getting you into the Christmas spirit if you celebrate. Now, my first Lake playthrough ended earlier in the year in March, and then we did a Me and Meredith playthrough for one episode. This is Season's Greetings, where we play as Meredith's father, Thomas Weiss. So let's begin.
Hello.
Hey, Dad. How's that white Christmas looking? You promised, remember?
Meredith. Of course, it's coming down as we speak. Wait till you see it.
Great. I knew you wouldn't let me down. My plane lands Tuesday at 5:30.
Perfect. How will you get here? Will someone pick you up?
Obviously. I've got the best chauffeur around. His name starts with a T and ends with Thomas Weiss.
All right, then. I hear he's the best in the business. I'll make sure he's there. 5:30 sharp.
Oh, thanks, Dad. See you soon.
2 more nights, Em. Can't wait to see you.
Same here. Say hi to Mom for me. Bye, Dad.
Bye, Em. Have a safe trip.
So like I say, this is the DLC for Lake, and this is set just under a year before Meredith shows up in the main game.
Good morning, Thomas. I bet you woke up feeling like $1 million after winning that monster pot last night.
Morning, Frank. It felt like $96.40, actually. But yeah, I had a great night's sleep.
I bet. It looks like you've hit the jackpot again today. There's hardly any Christmas mail rush because of the snow.
Ah, that's a pity. I really don't mind being outside in the snow.
Well, I do. Snow's for looking at, not for walking through. Take it easy out there today.
And with that, let's get started. So if you watched my previous Lake playthrough, you will know that I have minimal speaking in these playthroughs because I do want you to really experience the story. I absolutely adore Lake, as you know. So let's go talk to Frank.
Hey, Thomas. Another day, another dollar.
And it's really great to hear these characters again and to be back in Providence Oaks. I adore Lake. It's such a simple premise, such a simple game, but as you guys know, I adore it. So our last playthrough was the Robert ending. This, of course, is the DLC. At some point in the new year, you will see one more Lake playthrough just to round it off.
Morning. I guess I wasn't the only one that noticed all that white stuff lying around. I now have enough PO positive pet peeves about snow to last me a lifetime. But don't let that stop you from calling in new ones. My answer machine can handle it.
PO positive or pet peeves?
We're starting off the week with a PO snow positive from Cheryl.
Jack, we all love the beautiful snowy scenery. But there's one thing I like even better. The sound. Or actually lack thereof. Fresh snow absorbs sounds. It creates a tranquility that is just sublime.
Believe it or not, Cheryl, even a loudmouth like me can appreciate a bit of silence every now and then. And, judging by the weather, we can enjoy it for a little while longer. We've got some bright but cold days coming up with a chance of snow later in the week. And now, music.
Bert's out of town for the holidays, but he did ask me to keep an eye on his place. Seems to be in order.
So hopefully you've watched my Lake playthrough before you watch this, because the DLC will be so much more meaningful if you've actually seen a playthrough of the full game, or if you've played Lake yourself. So hopefully you have, but I just love this setting. Providence Oaks at Christmas time. Of course there's the snow, and you'll see all the houses have lights on them, there's Christmas decorations. It's just wonderful. And I adore Thomas, Meredith's father, as well. I love every single character in Lake, and we are of course going to be seeing some old characters that we know and love, such as Mo, but there are some new characters as well. So hopefully you enjoy this playthrough as much as I did making it.
Hi there, Thomas.
Hi, Mo. How are you holding up on these wintry days?
Well, you know, getting by. It'll be 10 years next year. This time of year always feels a bit off for me without Stan.
Stan the man. He sure was something.
That he was, Thomas. That he was. But I'm spending the holidays together with Kay and the rest of the gang. And what more can you wish for when it comes down to it, eh?
Ain't that the truth? Nothing better than a good meal with good people, if you ask me.
Oh, speaking of which, here's that blueberry pie Emily ordered. Freshly made this morning. If you put it in the freezer now and heat it up just before Christmas dinner, it'll taste like it just came out of the oven.
Oh, that smells amazing. No promises it'll make it till Christmas, or even the drive home.
Well, you'd better try, Thomas Wise.
I'll do my darndest.
I don't think I'm so fancy right away, but sorry.
Well, just use the other one then. Dear me, that boy can't tell a spade from a spatula sometimes. Apologies, Thomas, but you'll have to excuse me. I have to take care of something. You and Emily have a Merry Christmas now. And Meredith, of course.
Okay, Mo. Same to you too.
So there's not going to be as many episodes in this playthrough because this is, of course, the DLC. So you do end up spending less time in Providence Oaks than you do in the main game. I think you only play for a week in the DLC. So let's take this blueberry pie to the van. Oh, I quite like the sound of a blueberry pie. I don't think I've ever had one. I've had an apple pie. I think I've had a cherry pie. I don't think I've had a blueberry pie though. So with that, let's get back in the van and get delivering some mail. And you will notice as well, I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, there is some new music in the background as well, along with our old favourites, of course. I think there's 2 or 3 new tracks. I know that the songs in Lake can get a little bit repetitive, but I just love them, so I don't mind. But there are a few new Christmassy tracks. So you'll have to let me know in the comments box below if you're ready for Christmas. Again, if you celebrate it, I know not everybody does, but are you ready? There's a month to go, so I'm a little bit early in asking this question. Still, it's never too early for Christmas, at least not to me. So we are passing Reynolds Farm today because we don't need to go in there. Oh, I just love this game, I really do. I can't sing its praises enough. I need more Lake, I need more Providence Oaks. This is where I would want to live, in real life. This kind of place is where I want to be. So let's go and check out the campsite.
Not a whole lot of activity at the picnic area this time of year.
And of course there was things to do at the campsite in the original Lake game. In the DLC, you don't visit the campsite at all, really. That's the only time we're going to be seeing the campsite. But of course we are going to explore as much as we possibly can. But again, these episodes and indeed this series, it's more of a mini-series really, is going to be a lot shorter than my original Lake playthrough was.
Spanner Dam. As Frank says it, Spanner Dam. It never gets old.
And again, I just absolutely love playing as Thomas Weiss. I enjoyed playing as Meredith for the original Lake game, but playing as Thomas, I don't know, he's just so sweet. I absolutely love him. And I don't know if I can do a mean Thomas playthrough. You can't really be too mean with Thomas. I did a mean Meredith episode, like I say, but I don't know if I can bring myself to do it with Thomas. I just love him so much. So here we are at the Oregon Trail Motel, and in the original Lake game, someone else was working here.
Christmas gift? Here's hoping.
It's not what we know, it's where we go. Hi there, Mr. Mailman. Got anything for me today?
Hello, ma'am. Just one parcel.
Thank you, sir. It's true what they say about mail carriers in snow.
You bet. Nothing can keep me from the swift completion of my appointed round.
That too, of course. But I meant that the snow makes them look even more handsome in their uniform.
Oh, thank you kindly. But if I get any more compliments, I might not want to leave.
Oh, I better get this, honey. I'll see you tonight. Oregon Trail Motel. How may I help you?
And that is officially our first time meeting Meredith's mother, Emily. I love her as well. I just love everybody in this game. I really, really do. There's a character coming up that was not in the original Lake game that I absolutely adore. So I've cut it out for you guys, but there was a little pause there where I had to adjust the settings a little bit. On the DLC, for some reason, the camera sensitivity was a lot higher, so I did have to change the camera sensitivity, so hopefully this looks a little bit better for you guys. It was a little bit hard to manoeuvre the van, not that I can drive this thing anyway, as you've seen from my original playthrough, but it was a little bit harder to do, even for me, so I did have to adjust the settings a little bit. So keep that in mind if you're buying the DLC or have bought the DLC, that you may need to adjust the settings somewhat as you go. And of course, as with my original Lake playthrough, this is definitely going to be a slower paced, more cosy playthrough. There's not a lot you can do with this game, admittedly, but I just had to share this with you. It's the perfect season to discuss the Season's Greetings DLC, is it not? So I just really wanted to play this for you guys. I have, of course, played this DLC before. I originally played it on the Xbox One. That's where I originally played a Lake as well, if I can speak. And it's hard to say whether it plays better on the Xbox One or the PS5, but I will say I have encountered a lot of glitches on the PS5, glitches that you will see during this playthrough.
Okay, Thomas, just keep the wheels steady and trust the snow chains on the tires.
So for the spirit of exploration, here I am going to show you the watchtower, and I might actually cut this drive out because if you've watched the original Lake game, you will have seen the watchtower before. So I might just cut to where we get to the watchtower, and then I'll cut the journey back as well. So see you in a moment. So I've just cut out a little bit of the drive, but I wanted to show you the watchtower in the snow. There's not really a reason to do this, but we did of course see the watchtower in the original Lake playthrough. And I wanted to show you it in the DLC because seeing Providence Oaks like this covered in snow I think is just beautiful. So I just wanted to take a moment to come up here and just have a look around. Unfortunately, Thomas doesn't have any unique dialogue here at the watchtower. I wish he did. But I just wanted to show you that beautiful view. So with that, I am going to cut again to when we're back on the road because I don't think you need to see the whole journey of me going way back down the mountain. Okay, so we are back down the mountain now. I'm just figuring out where I want to go. We are going to go over the bridge. I don't think we need to see Robert today, who is potentially, depending on what happens, our future son-in-law, but of course we don't know that yet. But in my headcanon, you know, Robert and Meredith will get married eventually, at least for the first playthrough I did. Like I say, in the new year, there is a final Lake playthrough coming, which may be the Angie ending, but you'll have to wait for that one. And then we're done with Lake, I promise. So we will have had 3, technically 4, if you count the one-off episode, playthroughs of Lake. So yeah, I definitely need to be done with it, but I just love it so much, and I hope you love it as much as I do. I really, really do. So yeah, you're probably bored of Lake by now from me, but I just adore it, so I'm sorry, but we're going to have another playthrough. It's going to happen. But I will give you a bit of a break and we'll have some other playthroughs in the meantime, of course. So we are back on track. And are we finally going to be delivering our first parcel or letter of the day? No, we did deliver one to the hotel, to be fair. Or the motel. And look at the Christmas lights on all the houses.
Handwriting on this one.
And all the decorations. Oh, so cute. If you decorate for Christmas, you'll have to let me know, when do you decorate? And when do you take your decorations down? Let me know. I tend to decorate for the 1st of December, and I take them down on the 1st of January, so a full month. So here we are at the petrol station. Of course, we visited this in the original Lake, but there is a new character here that we are about to meet. Of course, we met Laurie in the original game. Who are we going to meet today? Now, this wasn't open in the original game, which is why I've come in here to show you. You couldn't get into the garage at all, but as you can see, you can in the DLC.
Hi, Ben. Got a pretty hefty package here for you.
Thanks, Thomas. I've been waiting for that one.
Hi, Mr. W. Please, please, please tell me the mail truck needs a tune-up.
Hey, Lori. I didn't know you'd already begun working here. Weren't you supposed to start in January?
Yeah, she pestered me into allowing her to start a week early. Already put snow tires on half the town's vehicles. At this rate, I can retire before the end of next summer. But this truck's fine, Lori. I gave it a checkup for Frank less than 10 days ago.
Ah, are you sure there's nothing I can improve on the old, what do you call this thing again?
Come to think of it, maybe there is. The horn's been making this sad little sound lately. It could use a little more oomph.
The horn, eh? I'm on it. That was easy peasy, lemon squeezy, Mr. W. Diaphragm had gotten a little dusty, but it's all better now. The mail truck is honking like a big old goose again.
Thanks, Lori.
Come to think of it, I will be calling your truck the Goose from here on out. Big, white, wobbly, and with a honking great horn. Honk honk!
The Goose has a nice ring to it. Or a nice honk, anyway. Well, gotta be getting back to my rounds. Happy holidays, you guys.
Thanks, Thomas. You too.
So that was our first time, of course, meeting Ben, who is Laurie's father. Unfortunately, you never get to meet her mother. But it's quite nice to have a new character, and Laurie is, of course, a character in herself, as always.
Take care of that goose now. Honk honk!
So what's really funny about that exchange, we just ended up on the counter there for some reason, is in the original Lake game, she tells Meredith that the truck is called the Goose, and we've just seen that happen. So approximately a year before you play as Meredith in Lake is when the truck is renamed the Goose. Interesting bit of lore. So we're going to carry on delivering mail.
Walnut Drive is where Meredith's school friend Jessie used to live. I remember once Meredith came home from school after learning about walnuts. She asked us if they were named after the street.
So another interesting fact there, that Meredith's old school friend Jessie used to live on Walnut Drive. Look at the little snowman. And all these tidbits of lore are quite interesting for someone like me who maybe will recreate Lake in the future, perhaps in The Sims. That would be quite good. Ugh, I really want to do that, but I don't know if I'm that good. But I'd love to do that. So we don't need to go there today, but I was just checking to see if the cats were out, and unfortunately they're not. So with that, let's continue our round. And the DLC is a lot more story focused than actually delivering mail. As Frank said in the beginning, there's not a lot of mail because the Christmas rush is over. So we're definitely going to be seeing a lot more story and a lot less delivering mail. With that, let's see where we end up next. I think in the spirit of seeing everything, we are going to go and visit what I assumed was a church in the original playthrough. Then I thought it was a church that had been sort of redone as a school. But Thomas says something interesting here. So now I think it's a town hall. Have a listen to what Thomas has to say when we get there. So I'm not entirely sure what this building is.
I've always thought Hawk Ridge sounds more like a character in one of Emily's soap operas than an address. Hawk Ridge, attorney at law, with his chiseled chin.
So I don't know if he was making a joke when he said attorney at law. That looks like a church, right? Like a reused church building. And I always thought it was a school, but then there's something on the door that leads me to believe it is an attorney's office. So who knew? There we go, more interesting facts. Because I speculated in one of the Lake episodes we did, I think, that the Metal Detectorists Club might meet there. but evidently they don't. This is not interesting to anyone but me, by the way, but I love Providence Oaks that much that I'm just trying to discern every bit of lore in the game, so I can recreate the entirety of Providence Oaks in my head and live there forever. Sounds about right, doesn't it? So with that, let's continue on. But as I've said in a previous episode, I would love to make an entire model of Providence Oaks. I would absolutely love that. So we haven't finished our day yet, but we are going to head into the shop. We don't actually need to head into the shop today, but you know me, I like to head in anyway. So let's go and say hello to Nancy for the first time in this playthrough.
Only this week, 11 cans of chili beans for the price of 10.
And there's our first glitch. Somehow she just randomly disappeared as we were talking to her. You will have also noticed a audio bug or glitch, I suppose, in which the music is a lot louder than the dialogue, and I'm very, very sorry about that. I tried to adjust it, but there was nothing I could do. I think it was just playing up. So the music is a lot louder than it needs to be, and I do apologise for that. That does unfortunately continue throughout the whole playthrough, and I did try to adjust it, like I said, but it wasn't having it. So I'm very, very sorry about that. Now we are going to head somewhere that we did not get to go into during Lake. And this is really, really exciting for me. We are going into the bookstore. So the building was here during Lake, but you could not go inside. We actually get to go inside and meet a new character. Lovely stuff.
Hey, Beth. How are you on this fine day?
Thomas, hi. Business as usual. Nah, I'm just joking. The situation is not that dire.
Really? So no Mildred rummaging for discounts today?
Well, I'll tell you, she was actually in here just now. I sold her a beautiful 1986 calendar that had kittens wearing mittens on the front. I kid you not. I wasn't even aware that was part of my inventory. Besides Mildred, there's been an odd customer or two today, and would you believe, one of them was even looking for a full set of encyclopedias.
Never knew you had a clone walking around out there.
Well, that certainly would be something, wouldn't it? There wouldn't be enough books to discuss or wine to consume. By the way, did you know that the world's largest encyclopedia was created in 15th century China and comprised about 11,000 books? Isn't that fascinating? Imagine having to load that into your car.
I don't think my trusty old van could take that. Or my bookcase, for that matter.
Well, they do say a good book is easy to pick up, but hard to put down. Get it? How's Emily coming along with Christmas dinner, by the way? I can imagine she's pretty excited about Meredith coming over. So let me know if she needs any more cookbooks. I've got this beauty from Good Housekeeping that's all the rage right now.
I'll be sure to ask her. But you know how Emily gets in the kitchen. There'll be so much food, we'll be eating stuffing all week.
I suppose you're right. But don't you worry, I'll leave the cookbook. I have a feeling St. Nicholas has other things in store for you this year.
Looking forward to it already.
As well you should.
And what does St. Nick have in store for you this year? Doing anything special?
I'm flying out to Georgia tomorrow to spend Christmas with my Daniel and his wife for a few days. We're planning a Hawaii 5-0 marathon. It's my guilty pleasure, and luckily it's theirs too.
Ah, Dano. Give him my best when you see him. And his wife, of course.
I shall. Right. I better get back to it and get ready for the New Year's sale. I've been in a perpetual fight with my pricing gun lately, so I need all the time I can get. And good things come to those who wait. I'll bring over your presents later in the week. I hope you have a Merry Christmas Eve tomorrow, and give my love to Emily and Meredith.
Will do. And season's greetings to you too.
Oh, a nice little name drop for the DLC there. But I absolutely adore Beth. She is one of my favourite characters. And I'm just going to take you round the bookstore a little bit because, of course, we didn't get to experience this during our first playthrough. I love it. I love it. And much like Angie's video rental store, the bookstore also has lots of fun names for different types of books. Really funny puns and play on words. So The Witches is, of course, The Wizards there by Ronald Dill, I think that said. Really funny stuff. Speaking of Angie, I think we'll be paying her a visit as well. Not much to deliver, and then the day is officially over. I think we'll be playing just one day in this episode. Of course, it's our introductory episode. And then we'll see where we go from there. But this playthrough is not going to be very long. In fact, I can tell you that this playthrough is going to be only 6 episodes. So, hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. I know I keep saying that. I just keep smiling like an idiot every time I edit these because I just love this game.
Hello, Angie. Long time no see. One package for you today.
Thanks, Thomas. How's Emily?
She's very busy. The motel's chronically understaffed.
Ah, yes. This must be busy season at the motel. I do like it when out-of-towners come to visit our little hamlet, especially when they like movies.
Apparently most of the rooms have been fitted with VCRs now. Should be good for business.
So, what do we have here? Oh, right.
Sounds like you got a hefty tax bill. Those usually come in envelopes.
It's just some things from LA. Toiletries, stuff like that. I, recently ended my relationship.
Angie, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It was my decision, and it was the right decision. The long distance thing just wasn't working out. Still, seeing your spare toothbrush, that shampoo bottle, a stick of deodorant, it just makes it so definite, you know? Like, the LA chapter of my life is now finally completely closed.
Sounds like you're dealing with it like a champ, though. How did your ex take it?
My ex-girlfriend, you mean? Yeah, she's handling it okay. Other than the passive-aggressive shipping of toiletries, I guess. Oh, did you not know?
Well, surely it's none of my concern.
I mean, it's not exactly something I walk around advertising around here. This is probably the first time I've seen you blush.
Breaking up right before Christmas Eve must be extra tough.
Yeah, that does add to the melancholy. Timing isn't exactly my strong suit, I guess.
Well, I'll leave you alone with your thoughts. And your spare toothbrush. Merry Christmas, Angie.
Merry Christmas, Thomas. My toothbrush and I bid you adieu.
Oh, it's nice to get a bit of backstory on Angie as well. I just love seeing her again. There's something about this game... Oh, we've caused a right blockage here, look. There's something about this game that, I don't know, just gives me such a strong sense of home. And I know that sounds really daft, but you can probably tell with how I talk about it. And so these characters really feel real to me sometimes. Really feel real? That was a sentence and a half. But they do. It's a very weird thing. I mean, I've always been a voracious reader. I love to read, but I especially love to read fantasy, so I guess it makes sense. But this game just gives me such a sense of belonging. Anyway, with that, that is the last bit of mail for the day, so let's return to the post office. And there shouldn't be too long left of this episode now. But yeah, I probably sound a bit daft. But that just is the truth. I mean, wouldn't everyone like to live in a place like this? I really would. Anyway, seems like I'm getting a bit melancholic myself. Let's head back to the post office. We'll crash into the wall on the way, shall we? That'll bring us back down to earth. My driving. So let's end off the day and see what tomorrow has in store. Oh, we're just checking our calendar. So like I said before, you only play a week with the DLC, and it looks like we already have things to do.
Hello?
Hey, Dad.
Meredith! Are you all packed for tomorrow? Meredith?
Dad, I'm so sorry, but I won't be able to make it tomorrow.
What's wrong? What happened? Are you okay?
I'm fine, Dad, don't worry, but I'm snowed under with work. It's at 86. It needs to be up and running at the start of the new year. I stumbled upon some errors today, and now we need to fix them this week. This sucks.
Yep, it sure does. Is that Steve guy pressuring you again?
No, it's not Steve's fault. We've all worked so hard this year. Can't squander it all in the last week, right?
I hate to say it, but it sounds exactly like what you said last year. Have you told your mom yet?
Yeah, I just called her at the motel.
Oh, someone's calling. It must be your mom.
Okay, well, that's my cue. Gotta get back to it. I'll call again soon, Dad. Love you.
Hey, is that you?
If by you mean Emily, then yes. If you mean M for Meredith, then no.
I just got off the phone with my other M, so I was pretty sure it was you.
Oh, Thomas, don't joke around as if nothing's wrong.
I know, Em. I don't know what to say.
Well, just deal with it, like we always do. Why don't we invite someone else? Unless you're happy with just Mildred coming over.
That's a good idea. I'll think about it and maybe invite someone tomorrow.
Okay, honey. As long as you don't invite Jack, you know, his jokes may even scare off the turkey. In any case, I'll call Beth and ask her again, too. And then I have to do a towel run, refill the vending machine, and vacuum the reception area. So it'll be a while before I'm done. I'll see you tonight, honey.
Okay, Em. Drive home safe.
That's so heartbreaking about Meredith not being able to come. So we have the option to stay home and watch TV or read a book. And of course, we are going to go ahead and read a book.
Major League Baseball umpires are required to wear black underwear while on the job in case they split their pants. Golf is the only sport to have been played on the moon. On February 6th, 1971, Alan Shepard hit a golf ball on the moon. Because of the low gravity, it may have traveled more than a mile.
And with that, we are going to be moving on to Christmas Eve, but not in this episode. So that's the end of episode 1. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you more than likely next week with episode 2. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye Embers.